Some breaking news. A jury will not be picked today in the Sean Diddy Combs trial. Court started this morning with 45 potential jurors. The lawyers had hoped to cut that down.
Sean P. Diddy Combs stood helplessly before the courtroom. The moment was very special as the witness was his blood. Eyes and faces turned as Diddy's daughter took the stand. This time, she was not smiling at her sweet daddy, but looking at him with so much anger and pain in her eyes. No emotion betrayed her face, but her words were sharp enough to pierce through years of secrets. Given the complexity surrounding Diddy's case, what more secrets lie beneath the surface? What else has his daughter been holding back? And could this testimony be the beginning of his ultimate downfall? Let's find out. Diddy's rise to fame. For decades, Sean Diddy Combs shaped music. The 3-time Grammy-winning producer and artist was a key pioneer of the commercialization of hip-hop. In his early 20s, he formed Bad Boy Records, bringing hip-hop to the mainstream and working with iconic music artists such as Usher, Mariah Carey, Mary J. Blige, Jennifer Lopez, Biggie Smalls, and many more. From the beginning, Diddy had an instinct for sound and spectacle. He turned records into revolutions and singles into anthems. His production was not just about beats, but about building moments that define culture. Bad Boy Records quickly became a powerhouse, not just because of its talent roster, but because of how it was marketed. Diddy made hip-hop glamorous, flashy, and aspirational. It was not just about the streets anymore, but about the penthouse. In 1997, Diddy released his debut album, No Way Out, earning him a Grammy Award for Best Rap Album. The album featured the chart-topping single, I'll Be Missing You, a tribute to his close friend and collaborator, the notorious B.I.G. Impressively, that single spent 11 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and solidified Diddy's position as a producer and performer. The album went 7 times platinum and became one of the best-selling rap albums of its time. Beyond his music, Diddy's production touch was behind many iconic records. He produced Usher's breakout hits, helped mold Mariah Carey's transition into hip-hop-influenced R&B, and gave Mary J. Blige the sonic identity that crowned her the queen of hip-hop soul. Unbelievably, his influence extended to soundtracks, remixes, and collaborations that blurred the lines between rap, pop, and soul. No one else at the time was playing on that level across so many genres. Diddy's business partnerships were as headline-worthy as his music. He signed a legendary distribution deal with Arista Records under Clive Davis, giving Bad Boy global reach. He also struck deals with major brands and turned every artist on his label into a lifestyle ambassador. The shiny suits, the champagne-drenched parties, the luxury cars, and the flashy videos were not just visual candy. They were marketing genius. He made hip-hop aspirational without diluting its essence. Remarkably, his ability to blend business and culture was unmatched. In 2002, he received the ASCAP Songwriter of the Year award. The American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers recognized his work for quantity and its sheer influence. In that same era, he launched the Making the Band series on television, which created artists like Danity Kane and Day 26, and showed a new generation the business of building stars. Diddy was more than a label executive. He was a brand. His name was on the lips of presidents and poets alike. He launched Sean John, a fashion line that would win the CFDA Menswear Designer of the Year award in 2004. In doing so, he became one of the few hip-hop moguls to be taken seriously in the fashion world. The line was carried in high-end stores and even featured in runway shows across Paris and New York. Diddy made it clear that hip-hop was not only music, he made it look more like a lifestyle. Additionally, he reinvented artist branding. He was among the first to see the artist as a full-spectrum personality. Not only did he assist Jennifer Lopez in creating her music, but he also helped shape her persona. Her success in music, film, and fashion was shaped in part by Diddy's strategic mind. His professional and personal relationship with her created endless tabloid headlines and fueled public interest in his empire. Diddy's collaborations read like a Hall of Fame list. From working with Kanye West and Pharrell Williams to producing tracks for Jay-Z and Nas, He was the thread connecting every major hip-hop movement from the 90s through the early 2000s. His ability to stay relevant across decades of shifting tastes is a testament to his genius. In 2010, he formed Diddy Dirty Money, a group that pushed the boundaries of R&B, electronic, and rap. Their album Last Train to Paris received critical acclaim and again placed Diddy at the front of innovation. He expanded into spirits with Ciroc vodka, striking a unique deal that gave him equity and a share of the profits. This was not a celebrity endorsement, it was a business move. Under his guidance, Ciroc went from an unknown brand to a household name, becoming a staple in clubs, commercials, and music videos. He later launched De Leon Tequila and entered the cannabis industry, proving his business instincts were always ahead of the curve. The awards kept coming. He received the BET Lifetime Achievement Award, and Billboard honored him with the Icon Award in 2022. That same year, he performed at the Billboard Music Awards and received standing ovations from peers and legends alike. His musical catalog had grown into decades of influence, and his legacy grew too. Despite controversy, Diddy remained a central figure in American music. His ability to adapt, evolve, and dominate in different areas made him a one-man empire. Whether through music, television, fashion, or spirits, Diddy found a way to stay in the conversation and often lead it. Few in music history have had his level of consistent impact across such varied industries. Even as new generations of artists rose to fame, many looked to Diddy as the blueprint. Drake, Travis Scott, and even Tyler, the Creator, have acknowledged his influence in shaping how they approach business and brand building. In the twinkling of an eye, the Diddy formula of talent, image, and hustle became the template for modern stardom. However, behind the stages, the fashion weeks, the mogul meetings, and the global headlines, another story was always quietly running in the background. It was a story of personal choices, romantic ties, and complicated priorities. What was his private life like, given Daddy's fame and presence as a public figure? The love escapades. Being a public figure who traveled extensively and became acquainted with many people, Diddy's romantic life has often grabbed just as many headlines. Aside from being recognized as a music mogul with chart-topping albums, Diddy is also known for his long list of high-profile relationships. From the glamorous red carpet appearances that made headlines in entertainment news to emotional breakups splashed across tabloid covers, Diddy's love story has been a roller coaster of beauty, betrayal, loyalty, and heartbreak. One of his most iconic relationships was with Jennifer Lopez. The world watched as the hip-hop mogul and the Latin pop superstar became the ultimate power couple of New York nightlife in the late 1990s. Their relationship was electric, stylish, and the subject of non-stop media attention. Together, they were the definition of early 2000s celebrities, showing up in matching outfits and dancing in music videos. However, it was not all glitz and glamour. In December 1999, the pair were arrested after a nightclub shooting in Manhattan. Though Lopez was never charged and Diddy was eventually acquitted, the drama placed enormous strain on their relationship. They officially split in 2001, with Lopez later saying the lifestyle was too chaotic and unsafe. Before and after his relationship with Lopez, Diddy shared a deep emotional connection with Kim Porter. She was more than a girlfriend. She was his anchor, his confidant, and the mother of 3 of his children. Their love story spanned over a decade with breakups, reconciliations, and undeniable chemistry. While Diddy was involved with other women during that time, he often returned to Porter. Her presence in his life was constant, even when things were complicated. When she unfortunately passed away in 2018, Diddy expressed profound grief and regret. He described her as his soulmate and admitted he had taken her love for granted. Her death marked a turning point in his emotional journey and left a hole that no one else could fill. During his on and off history with Porter, Diddy also had a long-term relationship with singer Cassie Ventura. Their connection lasted for over a decade and was kept mostly private. Cassie rarely gave interviews or spoke about their relationship publicly, which only intensified the intrigue around them. Diddy supported her music career and included her in many business ventures. However, behind the scenes, there were rumors of control and secrecy. When Cassie eventually ended the relationship in 2018 and married her fitness trainer, Alex Fine, Diddy posted cryptic messages and old photos, signaling that he had not fully moved on. It was a breakup that hit him hard. In recent years, Diddy was linked with rapper Young Miami of the hip-hop duo City Girls. This was not a traditional relationship by any standard. Both of them referred to it as a friendship, yet they appeared at public events together, posted affectionate photos, and were openly flirtatious in interviews. Young Miami clarified that she was unafraid to claim space in his world. She even asked Diddy pointed questions about their situation during an episode of her podcast. He responded by calling her one of the most important people in his life, but he avoided labeling their bond. The internet called it a situationship, but they had strong chemistry. In between these long-term relationships, Diddy was regularly spotted with a rotating circle of models and influencers. Lori Harvey, Joey Chavis, Gina Huyn, Daphne Joy, and Miracle Watts are just a few of the women whose names were linked to his. Paparazzi often caught him vacationing with one woman in the summer and dining with another in the winter. Red carpet appearances were rare, but social media always kept track. For some, it seemed like Diddy was simply enjoying bachelor life. For others, it reflected a man still searching for something real. Even though he portrayed confidence and control, Diddy occasionally admitted that relationships were not his strength. He once said he excelled at being a provider and protector, but not always at being a partner. Those close to him say he feared vulnerability and avoided commitment when it got too deep. Fame, fortune, and constant temptation made it difficult to hold on to love. Despite the ups and downs, Diddy has often spoken with admiration about the women he has been with. He has supported their careers, praised their strength, and kept friendships alive even after romance faded. His relationships shaped his music, influenced his image, and inspired some of his most emotional moments. The mogul life he built demanded sacrifices. For Diddy, love was often the casualty. He chased success with such intensity that personal connections sometimes became background noise. Many of his relationships ended not because of a lack of love, but because of a lack of time, trust, or emotional readiness. Yet, even amid romantic turmoil, Diddy never let go of one role, the role that mattered most, the role that shaped his mornings and grounded his nights. Because beyond the glamour, the heartbreak, the fame, and the flashbulbs, he cherished something more than any love affair, his sons and daughters. But was Diddy truly that dream dad to his kids from different women? Career versus family. When Sean Combs stepped away from music, many expected him to use that time to become more present in his children's lives. Instead, he redirected his energy toward lavish parties, luxury getaways, and maintaining a public image that revolved around wealth and celebrity access. Despite having multiple children who needed time, attention, and emotional support, Combs seemed more committed to maintaining his brand than nurturing his home. Observers noted that he rarely withdrew from the spotlight during his breaks from producing or performing. His downtime was filled with extravagant celebrations, including boat parties, red carpet appearances, and high-profile vacations. Rather than taking the opportunity to build stronger connections with his children behind closed doors, Combs kept the cameras rolling. Events involving his kids were often highly stylized and publicly shared, giving the impression that family time served more as content than connection. This pattern had consequences. Within his own household, particularly among his daughters, tension began to surface. Several reports and social cues pointed to visible friction between them. At some public events, the girls appeared distant, avoiding eye contact or interaction. Observers questioned whether the carefully curated image of unity matched the emotional reality behind the scenes. Sources close to the family have confirmed that the relationship between some of the girls has not always been smooth. Though they appeared together in holiday photos and family portraits, off camera, there were signs of competition and resentment. These issues were not only due to personality differences, but also to the uneven way Combs handled his role as a father. Some daughters reportedly felt overlooked or less favored, especially when attention seemed tied to public image rather than genuine affection. Rather than using his influence to create a peaceful and emotionally secure family environment, Combs often amplified the noise. Even personal milestones like birthdays were transformed into grand productions with celebrity guests and press coverage. The focus was rarely on meaningful, intimate bonding. Instead, everything seemed to serve a larger narrative that supported his status as an icon. This approach also failed to create cohesion among his children. In private, family insiders noted that some of the girls struggled to connect, due in part to their father's inconsistent emotional availability. While Combs often professed his love for all his children, his actions raised questions. Instead of spending uninterrupted time guiding and nurturing them, he maintained a pattern of public appearances over private investment. What deepened the concern was how Combs continued to operate even when given time and space to recalibrate. He had the wealth, the freedom, and the flexibility to step away from the chaos of entertainment and focus on family. Yet he chose to remain in the public eye, more invested in maintaining his legend than building a stronger foundation at home. During this period, he spent millions on luxury items that added little to his role as a father. He reportedly purchased a Maybach 57 worth over $350,000, a Rolls-Royce Phantom drophead coupe valued at more than $450,000, and a Ferrari 360 Modena estimated at around $250,000. His car collection became a symbol of status and spectacle. Yet none of it brought him closer to the family many believed he was drifting away from. The contrast between his lavish lifestyle and his fragmented family dynamic became difficult to ignore. Many of his children grew up surrounded by luxury, yet reports suggested that emotional closeness and unity were lacking. While their material needs were met, they often lacked their father's attention. Combs has repeatedly expressed love and pride for his children in interviews and social media captions. However, love requires presence, not just proclamations, and presence is not measured by luxury gifts or private jets, but by time, consistency, and trust. Today, the results of this imbalance are becoming more visible. As his daughters grow older and carve out their identities, they carry the weight of a complex family structure shaped more by fame than intimacy. The question is no longer whether Sean Combs succeeded in building a legendary career. He did. The question is whether that career came at the expense of something more personal and permanent. Can a man who conquered the music world claim the same kind of legacy within his own home? Maybe not. Controversies and court cases. Sean Combs is facing serious legal trouble that has shaken his career and public image. It all began in late 2023, when singer Cassie Ventura, his former partner, filed a lawsuit accusing him of years of abuse during their relationship. The case was quickly settled out of court, but it triggered a wave of similar claims from other individuals. Early last year, more lawsuits began to surface. Several people accused Combs of misconduct tied to power and control. Federal authorities took notice, and soon after, multiple investigations were launched. These led to high-profile raids on his properties in Los Angeles and Miami, where law enforcement seized electronics and other items as evidence. The situation escalated further in May 2024, when CNN released a hotel surveillance video from 2016 showing Combs physically attacking Cassie. The footage at the Intercontinental Hotel in Century City confirmed key parts of her earlier statement. The video quickly went viral and renewed public outrage, putting even more pressure on prosecutors to act. By September 2024, Combs was arrested and charged with multiple federal offenses, including coercion and conspiracy. The charges were tied to Cassie's claims based on broader evidence from raids and testimonies. Combs was denied bail and has remained in custody since, held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. As the trial began this May, Cassie took the stand. Her testimony detailed how she was manipulated, controlled, and repeatedly harmed under the guise of a relationship. According to her, public appearances were staged to present a clean image, while behind the scenes, she was living under constant emotional and physical pressure. These revelations had a domino effect on Combs's career. Major brands cut ties. Macy's pulled Sean John's clothing line. He stepped down as chairman of Revolt TV, the platform he founded. Universities and institutions began distancing themselves as well. Howard University revoked his honorary doctorate and returned his donation. His music started disappearing from radio playlists and streaming platforms. The backlash was swift, and the industry started taking steps to investigate how such behavior was overlooked for so long. Insiders admitted that his power and influence often shielded him from consequences. However, the current case is now too public to be ignored. Documentaries are already in production, promising to expose more of what happened behind the scenes. The trial is ongoing, and the charges Combs faces are serious. If convicted, he could face a lifetime in prison. The evidence is mounting, and public sentiment is shifting. Once admired as a hip-hop titan, Combs is now under intense scrutiny, not just for what he allegedly did, but for how long he was allowed to do it unchecked. Amid Sean Combs's ongoing legal troubles, a new rumor has surfaced online, stirring fresh controversy. According to multiple unverified social media and entertainment blog sources, Jay-Z and Diddy's son, Christian Combs, allegedly came forward with explosive information connected to Diddy's legal battles. Though no official statement has been released, insiders suggest that a private conversation between Jay-Z and federal investigators may have taken place, potentially offering cooperation or testimony concerning the mounting claims surrounding Diddy. Christian's involvement added even more weight to the rumor. Some platforms claim he was pressured to speak out after being exposed to documents or evidence during recent investigations. While no direct quotes have been confirmed, users online speculate that Christian's supposed revelation may have played a role in accelerating the scrutiny Diddy now faces. Jay-Z's name being linked to the situation shocked fans, especially considering his long-standing business and personal history with Diddy. The idea that a music industry peer and a family member could turn on him has amplified the public's interest and suspicion. Reactions have ranged from disbelief to intense curiosity, with hashtags trending across platforms. At this point, there is no official confirmation from Jay-Z or Christian. Still, the mere suggestion that they might have disclosed critical information has left the industry buzzing. Could this be the final blow to Diddy's already crumbling empire? Or is it just another twist in a scandal that refuses to fade? With the industry watching and more people speaking out, the focus is no longer on whether Combs will return to music. It is now about how much damage has already been done and how many others may come forward next. As for his daughter, her testimony remains a mystery. We can only wait for more revelation. Can Sean Combs ever reclaim his image? Or is this the final chapter in the legacy he spent decades building? Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on that notification bell for more mind-blowing videos.